Ready to withdraw your IAP pension benefit? In this video, we will review completing an IAP application step by step so you know what to expect. The IAP, or Individual Account Plan, is a defined contribution plan that provides benefits upon retirement, death, disability, or job termination. It is a separate pension benefit from the joint pension plan benefit. The IAP Summary Plan Description, containing the full information regarding the IAP benefit, can be viewed in your participant account online at ufcwtrust.com. Your employer contributed funds to the IAP plan on your behalf during years you worked, according to your union's collective bargaining agreement. These funds are invested and fluctuate according to market conditions. The final value of your IAP funds are determined at the time you withdraw them, or if your account becomes dormant, according to plan rules. You become eligible to withdraw your IAP when you retire under the UFCW Northern California Employers Joint Pension Plan. You can also withdraw your IAP if you are totally disabled and unable to work in any capacity in any trade or industry, or you have not worked in union employment during the last 2 months and have experienced a loss of seniority. The type of withdrawal option you select and the timing of the withdrawal will affect your tax liability. It is important to consider this income tax liability when deciding whether to withdraw benefits. The Trust Fund Office includes a special tax notice with the application to help you decide what choice to make. You may also seek assistance from a professional tax advisor or the IRS. There are 4 options for withdrawing the IAP: lump sum, which is automatic for balances less than $1,000, life annuity, and, if you are married, the joint and 50% survivor annuity and the joint and 75% survivor annuity. A lump sum can be paid directly to you as a direct rollover to a retirement account, or a combination of the two. You must roll over at least $500. If you elect a lump sum and your distribution is $200 or more, 20% will automatically be withheld from your distribution for federal taxes. Once you have made your choice and submitted your application, the Trust Fund Office has 180 days to process your application timely. Incomplete applications that have been open longer than 180 days will be closed, and you will need to start the process again. Filling out your application completely, providing clear copies of any required documentation, and responding promptly to any follow-up requests from the Pension Department will prevent unnecessary delays when it is time for your application to be processed. Once you have contacted the Pension Department and informed them that you would like to withdraw your IAP funds, you will receive your IAP application in the mail. The packet is 28 pages long and contains 3 main sections. The first section includes your application checklist and instructions, including an informational message regarding distribution of account balances. The second section is the actual IAP application. The third section contains informational material for you to review and keep for your records, including the special tax notice regarding plan payments mentioned previously. Review the special tax notice before starting to help you make your decision about how to withdraw your funds. The application checklist on page 5 lists all possible forms and documents that may be required as part of the IAP application. Depending on your marital status, work history, and the type of withdrawal you are electing, some of these steps may not apply to you. Be sure to review each one carefully and complete everything pertaining to your personal situation. If documents are required, copies are acceptable as long as they are clear and legible. All applicants must complete the Benefit Application section and the Work Status Request section, or work history. In these sections, you will complete your personal information, choose your withdrawal reason and type, sign the application in front of a notary, union local, or trust fund office representative. You may choose to save this step for last. If applicable, complete the waiver of joint and 50% survivor annuity form, and fill out your detailed employment history. If you are married with a balance of $1,000 or more, and you are electing the lump sum, life annuity, or 75% joint and survivor annuity, both you and your spouse must complete and sign the waiver of joint and 50% survivor annuity. Your spouse's signature must be notarized, or they must sign in front of a union local or trust fund office representative. If you elect a lump sum, whether it is cash or rollover, you will fill out the distribution election tax withholding election form with your choice and sign and date the form. If you are electing a rollover for any part of your IAP benefit, an authorized representative of the financial institution accepting the rollover must complete the direct rollover information form. If you were divorced during your time in the industry, you will need to fill out a divorce affidavit and provide copies of all documents listed, including court orders, settlements, or marital property agreements concerning the potential division of your pension benefits. If you have been divorced multiple times, you must complete an affidavit for each. Photocopy the blank page if you need additional copies. You will also need to submit a copy of the divorce final judgment, including any attachments referenced in the judgment. If you do not have a copy, you can request one from the county where you got divorced. Depending on the county, you may be able to submit a request online or call. If you have been divorced multiple times, include the divorce final judgment for each former spouse. If you were married and divorced prior to your time in the industry, you do not need to provide a divorce judgment. However, you should still complete the divorce affidavit and write the date of the marriage and divorce. If you have been widowed, you will need to submit a copy of the certified death certificate with cause of death listed. You may also submit a copy of the death certificate if a former spouse has passed away. You will need to submit your W-2s for each year of exempt or non-union employment in the retail food industry. Finally, if you are withdrawing your IAP because you are totally disabled and unable to work in any capacity in any trade or industry, you will need to submit the Social Security Award notice or information regarding the date of the illness or injury that caused your disability and your doctor's name and address. Check off the steps on page 5 as you go. Sign, date, and fill out your Social Security number at the bottom of the page. The IAP application begins on page 7. Fill out your information, including your name, address, gender, Social Security number or member ID number, date of birth, and email. If you are retired, or if you are withdrawing your IAP because you are totally disabled and can no longer work in any capacity, fill out the last day you actually worked. If you are withdrawing your IAP because you are no longer working in the industry and you have experienced a loss of seniority, fill out your loss of seniority date. This must be at least 2 months prior to the date you submit your application. Fill out your current marital status. If you are married, fill out the marriage date and spouse information. Include your spouse's full Social Security number. Indicate if you have ever been divorced. If yes, list all dates of divorces. Fill out your last union employer. Indicate if you have ever worked as an exempt employee in California. If yes, list the location, dates, and employer. If you do not remember the exact dates, enter the months and years, or just the years. Finally, indicate if you have ever worked in the industry outside of Northern California. If yes, list the location, dates, and employer. In the lower middle section of the page, labeled Part 1, select the reason for withdrawal. In Part 2, select the form of payment. Your options continue on the next page. Stop here. You must sign Part 3 in front of a notary, at the union local office in front of a union benefit clerk, or at the trust fund office in front of a TFO representative. You may choose to save this section for last, moving on to your work history on page 19. When you are ready to sign, you can commonly find a notary at your bank or credit union, or certain businesses. There will typically be a small fee for notary services, and an appointment may be required. If you cannot easily leave your residence, a traveling or mobile notary may be an option for you. A mobile notary will come to you for an additional cost. We also accept signatures witnessed through notarize.com. If you choose to sign and date in front of a notary, confirm that the date written by the notary matches the date next to your signature. Accidental mismatches can happen. If the dates do not match, the notarization will not be valid and you will have to redo it. Please note that the notary, union local, or TFO representative will need to see your photo ID, such as a valid driver's license, current passport, or state-issued ID. There is no charge to sign at the union local office or at the TFO. A complete work history is critical to ensuring that you receive the highest benefit you have earned under the plan. Fill out your name and social security number. Then, complete the chart to reflect all periods of employment, both in the industry and outside of the industry, disability, military service, and unemployment through the present date. Include the name of the store or company, the city you worked in, the position you held, and the dates you worked in that position. If you are currently working in your listed position, write present in the to section. You can also indicate not working or unemployed. We recommend entering your most recent work status at the top. If you do not remember the month you began or ended some of the positions, the year is sufficient. It is imperative to include all your work history, in and out of the industry, employed and unemployed. If you need additional lines, you may continue on the reverse side of the page or on an additional sheet of paper. Clearly label at the bottom of the chart that there is more information included. When you are done, review your work history for any gaps. Each year should overlap or follow directly after another. If you notice any gaps, correct them now. If the pension department identifies any gaps in your work history, they will need to contact you to confirm what you were doing at that time. This can delay the processing of your application. Additional documentation is required for years in which you worked fewer than 750 hours while in the retail food industry. Common reasons for having fewer than 750 reported hours include maternity leave, time served in the military, working in a management or non-union position, and unemployment. Read this section carefully. The required documentation differs for each situation. For example, if you went on maternity leave, you would submit a copy of your child's birth certificate. Pages 21 through 28 contain the special tax notice and additional informational material for your reference. Review this information and keep it for your records. You are ready to submit your application. Keep a photocopy of the application for your records. If the pension department needs more information from you, they will reach out to you at the phone number you have on file with the trust fund office. If your application is accepted, your distribution will be processed. If you elected a lump sum or partial lump sum to be paid directly to you, your IAP distribution will be mailed to you as a physical check. If you elected a rollover, we will mail you a confirmation letter and a copy of the rollover check once processed. If you have any additional questions about filling out your IAP application, please contact the pension department at 800-552-2400, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time.